Hello, this is my tutorial about RealFlow and how to create a bottle from RealFlow water flow. This is simple bottle model and I'll show you. It should be closed geometry. We don't need any inside thickness or anything because we want to have liquid around this bottle. Also keep in mind this will be in this tutorial. I won't explain how Dspline works and every parameter because I have other tutorials about Dspline and I can't explain every detail of how to create Dspline in RealFlow in this tutorial. If you want to learn more, please check my other tutorials about Dspline. I think I have 2 more tutorials mostly explaining how Dspline works. So if you don't know or if you're just starting using RealFlow, please check these other tutorials and then come back to this one. What I'm doing here, I created a guide mesh for this plane and I am trying to make this plane to follow to this mesh. This is not difficult at all. It is just a little bit time consuming and this is it. Oh, this plane is ready. So let's start now simulations. First of all, we will disable all objects from scene. We don't need to interact with objects because first we will have to set up the liquid, how it flows into this plane, and when we will be happy with our result, then we will move to we will activate the bottle and we will create interaction with bottle and liquid. Okay, let's check. Let's make it perfect. Okay, now let's create diverso. We will use diverso for this. And I will use GPU for simulations because diverso supports GPU and it is much faster, 5, 6 or 10 times, depends on the scene and parameters, but it's really fast with GPU. So let's use GPU and let's also add drag force. It really helps with Dspline. Okay, and let's add some basic parameters, maybe, and let's simulate. Also, it is good to create kill demon around our simulations. If some particles will jump out this scene, it will be killed. Let's add maybe here 5. Let's see now. It's better now, following. Okay, we have to increase timeline. Okay, or we can change time scale. Let's check how it works. Maybe 3. Let's unhide the bottle. It's not activated yet, but we'll see how liquid flows around the bottle. It will help to adjust the liquid parameters. Also, time speed 2 will be enough. Can increase the radius of this circle here to prevent liquid leakage. Also, we can increase parameters locally here. Of course, this resolution is very low, but for testing, it's good. Also, as you can see, I have low poly mesh. It's better to test on relatively low poly models, and then when you will make good setup and you will like it, then you will import high poly and resimulate again. I think setup is looking good, but it's looking like too much like tube, so I will decrease radial strength. We are losing some particles, but I will adjust local circle sizes. This way we will increase force area around the particles where we're losing them, and we have to add a noise daemon. Default values are too high, and we have to decrease noise strength, and it's looking good. After that, let's increase liquid quality by increasing resolution. After the simulation, we see that we are losing more particles. So I'm increasing circle radiuses to increase force around particles. And now we are losing much less particles. Now we can animate particle birth. So after frame 250, we will not have new particles born. We will animate particle speed, and let's see the result. Okay, so we have this. Now we will add this bottle into the scene. It will interact with liquid, and let's move it here, and let's add some friction and stickiness, and let's check now how it interacts with water. Let's make Dspline radius smaller by moving each point inside the bottle. This way liquid will be closer to the bottle and we will have more interaction with the bottle, and it will look much nicer. Let's introduce Magic Demon into the scene, and now we will gradually decrease Dspline parameters and also gradually increase Magic Demon's parameters. And this gradually here to 0. And from here maybe magic. I think it's the bottom, right? Increase to maybe 25, 100, nearest, and this. Okay, this must be at this frame. Also, we will animate active, because if we will have this demon all the time active, it will slow down the simulation. So we don't need this until frame 300, so it will be activated only on this frame. So let's add key here and inactive here. Okay, let's see now how it will work. Okay, let's stop and see our result. We have to adjust some parameters, but overall it's looking like it's too quick from spline to bottle. So let's adjust these parameters. We can use Cure editor, maybe to 350, and decrease this to 10. So same for this, maybe even 375 and 50. And let's do this for this one also, 375. 375. And also we have to start this bit later. So let's move this to and change also this. Okay, now let's change these spline parameters. We are started from here to and let's also animate noise parameter, and it will start noise strengths from here to 0. 0. Okay, and let's simulate again. Okay, let's adjust some parameters. I extended Dspline first a little bit more to overlap with Magic Dimmer. I think this way it will look nicer. Okay, our simulation is ready. It looks like this. And next step, to make splash, and behind the splash will be a real bot. Overall, I think this looks nice. Of course, you can add some more modifiers and maybe noise in here to add some more details, but basic setup is this. And I think we can make this transformation slower by reducing these parameters. Five plus and maybe increase this to 500 because we need some frames for splash, and I will simulate from this frame. Okay, it's ready. So now we'll add splash. For example, from this frame we'll animate these parameters, and in 10 frames these values go to 0, and also we'll animate active parameter to disable after this frame, and from frame 20 and I think 5 frames will be enough to make this splash. We'll add attractor daemon and noise daemon. So let's add attractor, put it here, and if you put negative values it will make splashes, or it will make liquid go from this point outside from this point. It will be force outside from this daemon from here. And let's see how it looks. For now it will be at 0. It must be at 0, and maybe here it will be at around minus 20. And let's simulate. And we have to add some noise and maybe increase and a little bit decrease strength. The noise here, we running it bit 0 and bit 1. Let's start from, okay, and it's ready. So we see this part goes, of course it needs adjustment in timing and speed here and there, but this is setup that I used in that video. Next step is we have to render this, and I use for meshing plugin for Studio Max, Frost. For this tutorial I will create mesh here inside RealFlow. Okay, now let's cache all the mesh files and render. I will use VA. I will reset. As you can see, also this will be very simple setup. It's too bright, and we can decrease multiplier. And we can run in real time and adjust parameter. Maybe 5 will be enough, and we can also decrease the size. Okay, now we see some gradient, maybe even less. This is too much. Okay, now we have slide gradient. and let's save. And now I'll create shader for our liquid. And let's add some reflections and now refraction. As you can see, already it's looking really good. Let's decrease refraction and let's add maybe fog. Like this. Well, I don't know, whatever color you will like, you can use. Okay, and at the top we can add some more light from this angle, maybe something like this. Here, and we will include only our liquid in this light. So invisible, exclude. Okay, let's delete this first. And select, and we have some highlight, but this is too strong also. Let's decrease value. It's a bit. And we can add some HDRI in the background. I use simple, something like this, and let's see how it looks. It's bright, and we can go to here and disable this physical. Now it's too flat, so what we can do is add another light, make it dome light, and we will copy this map here, clear, go to camera, test, and decrease multiplier 0.2. But what we can do also, we can go to options and disable this from diffuse. Specular. We need this only for refractions, and maybe can increase this, or what we can do, this was my mistake, we had here exposure control and I did not notice. Let's stop. See, it will be very dark now. And disable this, and decrease this to, I don't know, 10. Or 4, 3. Okay, now let's work on the shader. Maybe we can make it darker or something like this. and also use this exposure. Maybe a little bit white balance, make it more cold. As you can see, this mesh is really low poly, and as you can see all these polygons. But this is basic setup how I do these simulations, and decrease this multiplier. We can make this a little bit blurry. This is it. Let's change. Okay. My suggestion is for rendering will be to watch some photography tutorials. You can find lots of good photographers on YouTube and see how they light objects for studio photography, and you can use the same technique in rendering. Find some professionals how they are doing this, how they light bottle or glass or any object, and use the same technique in 3D. And this is the correct way to render liquid or any other object. So this concludes this tutorial. As I told you, this is really a low-res simulation, but now you know all the details, how I work, how I created that simulation. And next week I will cover this video, how I created this mixing and simulation of this, and also another. This splash, how I created, I used plugin for RealFlow called QSolver. It's very powerful, and I'll tell you how I did everything. That will be more explained video, and also I will show you render settings and parameters. And I will try to create tutorials every weekend. Let's see. I hope I will have some free time to create these tutorials. And if these tutorials, if you will like these tutorials, next step will be to create something like this. How to shoot, how to create photogrammetry, how to track, and then how to make some liquid simulation, so how to implement this CG into real world. And I will explain all these techniques. This will be maybe 3 or 4 part tutorial. Let's see. Okay, goodbye. I hope you liked this tutorial and wish you luck.